So we are live. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today is the first session of the game theory series, and after the completion of the greedy series, in which we had 7 videos for the beginners. After this will be we have started today with the game theory series. So you can just consider giving a +1 in the chat, and you can like the video if you have joined the stream, so that I can know that everything is working fine. And once other people also join, so we'll be beginning immediately with the session. Okay. So just let me know if my voice is audible to everyone or not, and whether or not my screen is also visible. And after that, immediately I'll begin with the session. Okay, so we'll be discussing problems related to game theory, or you can say games, the tags that are related to games on code forces, so that beginners or those who have started with competitive programming, or those, or even people who are doing it and they are not able to do much in this domain of in this game theory part, so they can understand it better. Okay, so just quickly give a +1 in the chat if everything is clear, if everything is working fine, so that we can begin ahead with the session. Okay, I'll just be waiting for some time for others to join for a couple of minutes, and then immediately after that I'll be beginning. Till then, if anyone has got any question, so you can feel free to ask me about that. After that, hi Sethi. So it's great to be back. Basically, so today we have started this series that is based on games and game theory on code forces. So that's great. So these are let me show you the problems that we'll be discussing. So the first problem that we'll be discussing in this lecture is based on Mahmoud and Ehab and the even odd game. Okay, so this will be the first problem that we'll be discussing for today. And also one more thing, that everything has been shared in the chat. Everything I have shared, we have shared in the description of the videos. Everything, every problem that we are going to take, we have shared it in the description beforehand, so that you can try it out yourself, and so that when we are discussing them, so you can understand them much better about the thought process and how should you be going about going after those problems, right? After this, the next problem that we have to discuss is yet another string game. So this is another problem that we'll be discussing today. Apart from this, hi Ria and hi City. Without you, this series will feel incomplete for me. Okay, because you people have been joining, and you have people have been practicing things from the start. So just quickly comment down below how many questions you have practiced for the past maybe for today, how many DSA or competitive programming questions you have solved. So you can just comment down below, or how many questions you have read, how many concepts you have read. You can just comment down that number below. Okay, and immediately after that we'll be beginning. Also, if someone hasn't liked the video yet, so you can just the third problem, moving on. So the third problem for today will be substring removal game, and this is also a good problem. It was asked in CodeForces educational round, right? So not much, sir. uh Basically, you should be consistent, man. Like, if you will be consistent, then it will be better, more optimal for all of us, right? So without further ado, just quickly give a +1 in the chat if we should begin. Okay, if everyone is ready and everyone has liked the video and everything is working fine, please give a +1. Okay, exams are going on, then it's fine. Then you should focus on exams and building your grades and percentage. Okay, right. Not much, 8 out of 9, because exams are going on. Okay, no problem, man. Right, so okay, shall we begin? If everyone agrees that we should begin, just give a +1 in the chat, and immediately after that, I'll begin with the session for today. Okay, just quickly give a +1 in the chat, uh, so that I can begin ahead. That will be the signal for us to start with the game theory series. I'm very excited about that. Hope that you are also excited about this series. We'll be covering a lot of topics in this in detail. Okay, right. Right, so let us begin with the first problem. So the first problem is Mahmoud and Ehab and even odd game, right? So for keeping it short, I will name it as Mahmood and let's say even odd game. Okay, let me write it as even odd game in short form. Even odd game. Okay, so the problem name is this. Now after that, what is the next thing? So it was asked in CodeForces round 743 div 3. Okay, so it was asked in CodeForces round 473, I think, right? 473, rated for division 2, not 3, division 2. Okay, 473 division 2, right? Let's read the problem statement. So the problem says that Mahmoud and Ehab play a game called even odd game. So this game is known as even odd game. That is why I also changed the name to even odd game. After that, what you have been given is Ehab chooses his favorite integer n, and then he takes turns starting from Mahmoud. Okay, in each player's turns, he has to choose an integer a and subtract it from n such that this a so basically what you have to do is you will be given an integer n initially, and what you will be doing is in this what you will be doing is you will be given an integer n, and after that what each player during each player's turn he will be choosing an index a, and if it is Mahmoud's turn, then a has to be even, but if it is Ehab's turn, then a has to be odd. Okay, now what does this mean? So what will happen is if the current player cannot choose any number satisfying the condition, then he will lose. Okay, so basically what happens is you'll be given, first of all you will be given a number n, right? You will be given, let's say, a number that is nothing but n, right? You have to choose let's say a number a, which will be between 1 to n, and after that what you have to do is you have to basically see whether or not if first of all if it's Mahmoud's turn. Okay, if it's Mahmoud's turn, so what you have to do is you have to choose a in such a way that a is even. Okay, and if it is Ehab's turn, if it is Mahmoud's turn, then a has to be chosen in such a way that a is even, right? And it should be between 1 to n. After that, what you will be doing is if it is Ehab's turn, then what you will be doing is you will be choosing a in such a way such that a is odd, right? And what you will be outputting in the part is if the current player, suppose if there is a current player that is playing, either it can be Mahmoud or it can be Ehab. So if the current player cannot choose the number satisfying the current conditions, that is if he cannot choose a number such that the number a is between 1 to n, and the number has to be even if it is Mahmoud's turn, and has to be odd if it is Ehab's turn. Then in that case that player will be chooses, so both the players will be playing very much optimally. And what you have to do is in the end you have to tell that whether Mahmoud wins or Ehab wins. If Mahmoud wins, so that means that Ehab will lose. So if Mahmoud wins, then what you have to do is you have to simply print that if Mahmoud is winning, then you have to print Mahmoud. If in the other case, if Ehab is winning, then in that case you have to print Ehab. Okay, so that is what you have to do. Now let's discuss some of the cases. Let's say if you have been given, let's say if you have number 1, okay, n is equal to 1, so in that case who will be beginning the process? So the process will be the chances will be begin by starting from Mahmoud. Okay, starting from Mahmoud. Okay, yeah, right. So first of all Mahmoud will be beginning. Okay, Mahmoud will be beginning, and your n is 1. What you have to do is you have to see which number should Mahmoud choose, such that which number can Mahmoud choose. Mahmoud can choose an a which is even. Mahmoud can choose an a such that that particular a is even, and that particular a should be between 1 to n. Okay, so here the a should be between 1 to 1 only, because the value is such like this. Okay, here your a will be between 1 to 1, right? Because your n value is 1, so that is why your a will be between 1 to 1, right? So how do you see, like, what should Mahmoud choose? Right, Mahmoud has to choose an even number, and that should be greater than 1. Can Mahmoud choose it? Can Mahmoud choose an even number? Just quickly tell me that. Only after that we'll move ahead. Can Mahmoud choose a number such that it is even? Can he choose that? Such that it is even and it is greater equal to 1, at least greater than 1 and less equal to n. Can he do that? Can he do that? Just quickly tell me. Sir, block that guy. Oh, I don't know if I have control over this guy or not. Just ignore this. Okay, so what we'll be doing is you have this n is equal to 1, right? And you have Mahmoud's turn. So in Mahmoud's turn you want to choose what? Even, right? Mahmoud's turn you have to choose even, and in Ehab's turn you have to choose odd, right? So in Mahmoud's turn you can see that there is no such availability such that you choose any a between 1 to 1 such that it can be even, right? So that is why what will happen for this case? What will happen? Mahmoud will not be able to play any will not be able to proceed further, right? Since n is equal to 1, so Mahmoud cannot choose any number, right? Mahmoud cannot choose any a, right? He cannot choose any a. So that is why what will happen with this case? That is why what will happen? I can see a lot of people have joined, so you can just consider giving up +1, and you can like the video if you haven't already. Okay, right? So Mahmoud cannot choose any a, so that is why what will happen? Mahmoud cannot move, right? So that is why if n is equal to 1, then Ehab will win, right? Ehab wins, right? Is this much part clear to everyone, right? This much part is clear to everyone. Now let's say that if my n is equal to 2, right? If n is equal to 2, then Mahmoud will begin, right? If n is equal to 2, then in that case Mahmoud will begin with the opportunity, right? Everyone is clear with that? If n is equal to 2, then Mahmoud will begin with the opportunity, right? That is what he will be doing. Everyone agrees on this? Yeah, right. So if Mahmoud begins, now Mahmoud is beginning, so he can choose an a such that a should be even, right? And it should be between 1 to n. So what number he choose? What number should he choose? So since he can choose an even number, so he will always try to choose a bigger even number, right? He will try to choose, since he can choose an even number, right? Since he can choose an even number, right? So he has to choose a such that it is even. So can he choose 1? No, he cannot choose 1, right? He choose 2? Yes, 2 is even and he can choose that 2, right? So he takes 2, and then 2 minus 2 will be equal to what? 2 minus 2 will be equal to 0. So that simply indicates that n is equal to 0, and after Mahmoud's turn what will happen? Ehab comes, and Ehab sees that n is equal to 0 and he has to choose an a such that it is between 1 to n, and it should be a belongs to what? It should be odd, right? So can he do this? Can Ehab do this? No, he cannot, right? He cannot choose any a because n value is 0 and he has to choose at least a number which is greater or equal to 1. That is why he cannot do this, right? Everyone will agree on this. Everyone agrees on this part? Everyone agrees on this? Everyone agrees on this part, right? So that is why Ehab loses and Mahmoud wins, right? If n is equal to 2, then Mahmoud wins, right? What if n is equal to, let's say, 3, right? What if, yeah, right, n is equal to 3. If n is equal to 3, then in that case what will happen? In that case you can very easily observe that if n is equal to 3, then what will happen? Your Mahmoud will start. Mahmoud starts, right? Every time Mahmoud starts, and Mahmoud has to choose what? Even number. But now what will happen? Let's see what will happen. So let's say Mahmoud begins. So now he chooses an a which is between 1 to 3, right? 1 to n, and a should be even, right? A should be an even number. So what will he choose? He chooses, let's say he chooses a is equal to 2. So what will happen after this? N minus 2, right? N minus 2 will give me what? 3 minus 2, right? N minus 2 means 3 minus 2. So 3 minus 2 will give me a 1. Now my n value is 1, right? After this move, n value is 1 and Ehab comes in. Okay, Ehab comes in. And what does he do? What does he do further? So Ehab comes in and n value is 1, right? So Ehab has to choose an a such that it is between 1 to n, and it has to be odd, right? It is between 1 to n and it has to be odd. So can he choose a number such that can he choose an a such that it is odd and it is between 1 to n? Yes, he can choose. So he can choose a is equal to 1 directly, and after that what will happen? 1, that is n minus a, which will be equal to 1 minus 1, which will be equal to 0. So now n value is 0, right? If n value is 0, so now Ehad's turn is done. Now Mahmoud will come again, and since n is 0, so that is why Mahmoud cannot choose anything, right? So that is why in this case Ehab wins, right? Ehab will win in this case, right? Everyone agrees on this? Everyone agrees on this? Everyone agrees with me on this? Yeah, right. So that is why, what is the conclusion that you can draw from this case, right? Let's try and see. If my n is equal to 1, so in such cases what you have to do, you have to just write some of the cases, some of the starting cases, and then you will be able to figure out the pattern that is there. Okay, so if n is equal to 1, then who wins? Ehab wins. Why? Because in that case Mahmoud won't be able to take any chance, right? If n is equal to 2, then in that case what will happen? In that case Mahmoud will do what? Mahmoud will first of all be starting, so he'll be taking 2, so that is why n will be equal to 0, and when Ehab will come, so Ehab will see that he cannot take any move, so that is why Ehab will lose and Mahmoud will win, right? After this, if n is equal to, let's say, 3, if n is equal to 3, so in that case what will happen? Mahmoud will start and Mahmoud will choose 3. After this, n is equal to 1, right? Since n is equal to 1, so Ehab can choose 1, right? So 1 minus 1 will give me a 0. Now when Mahmoud's turn will come, so he will lose, right? Mahmoud loses. So who wins? Ehab wins, right? Ehab wins in this case. Let's say if n is equal to 4, so if n is equal to 4, so in that case what will happen? 4 minus 2. Why 2? Because what you are doing basically is, you are choosing, if n is equal to 2, so in that case what you will do? If n is equal to 2, then Mahmoud starts and Mahmoud will choose 4, because a has to be even. That number, these sessions are pretty helpful. Thanks for the effort. Thank you Raghav, glad that you are liking it. Okay, so 4 minus 4, so that gives me a 0. Now n is 0 and Ehab's turn comes, so Ehab cannot play, right? So in this case Mahmoud wins. Right? If let's say n is equal to 5, if n is equal to 5, so in that case what you can do? 5 minus 4, right? Mahmoud will do 5 minus 4, so it will give me 1. N is equal to 1. Now Ehab comes in, and 1 minus 1, because Ehab can choose odd, so that is why he chooses odd. So 1 minus 1 will give me a 0. And now when Mahmoud comes in, so he cannot choose any number, because n is equal to 0, so he cannot choose any number. That is why he loses. So who wins? Ehab wins, right? So can you observe something? Can you observe something that is occurring alternatively? Can someone quickly tell me in the chat, is there something that is occurring alternatively? Is there something that we can see that is occurring alternatively? Is there anything that we can observe that is occurring alternatively? Just quickly tell me in the chat. Is there something that is occurring alternatively, or is there some pattern? Ehab, then Mahmoud, then Ehab, then Mahmoud, and then Ehab. What is the thing that is occurring? Odd? Yeah, right. If n value is odd, then Ehab wins, right? If n value is odd, then Ehab wins. You can see n is odd, right? N is odd, and who is the winner? Ehab. N is odd, and who is the winner? Ehab, right? If n is even, then in that case, who is the winner? Mahmoud. If n is even, who is the winner? Mahmoud, right? Right, everyone will agree on this, right? Shall we write the code for this problem? Okay, shall we write the code for this problem? Shall we do it? Just tell me quite quick. Okay, so for this case, you do not need any test cases. Let me just zoom in a little bit. Okay, so what we'll be doing, you will be taking n, and you will be taking n as an input, and if n mod 1, right, n mod 2, if n mod 2 equal to 0, if this is the case, right, if this is the case, then what you will say? You will print that Mahmoud wins, right? You will say that Mahmoud wins. Let me just check the spelling so that it is not wrong in that matter. Okay, Mahmoud, right? Okay, so he will win, right? And what will happen in the else part? In the else part, you can directly say that if n is odd, then in that case, always who's the guy who will win? Ehab will win, right? Because both are playing optimally, right? Because they will not allow the other person to take another chance. So when the other person comes in, so he'll be losing, right? Let's submit the code quite quickly and see whether it works or not. Okay, right, let me see if this works or not. Let's see whether it gets accepted or not. Okay, so it is running on test case 5. Let's see. So it got accepted, right? Everyone, can you see that it got accepted, right? It got accepted just now. I can show you this. So this was the code that got accepted. Let me show you the code part once again. Okay, so this was the code part. You just take n as an input, and as we discussed the pattern, if n is odd, if n is even, so in that case what will happen? If n is even, then Mahmoud will be starting first. So what will he do? He will simply choose an even number that is equal to n only, and he will then after that n will be left, that is 0. So Ehab when comes in, he cannot choose any a, right? So that is why Ehab will lose and Mahmoud wins. And same the vice versa is the situation for Ehab, right? When Ehab will come in and he sees an odd number, so he will choose that odd number such that Mahmoud will be left with n is equal to 0 and he will be losing, right? Everyone is clear with this? Everyone is clear with this? If everyone is clear with this, shall we move to the next question? Shall we move to the next question if everyone is clear with this one? Shall we move to the next question if everyone is clear with this one? Okay. Just please give a +1 quickly in the chat if everyone is clear with this one. Okay, after that, immediately after that, I'll be moving ahead to the next question. Shall we move ahead? Shall we move ahead? Just quickly tell me in the chat. Okay. Clear. Perfect. Perfect. Right. Let's move to the next question, ma'am. Let's move to the next question. So the next question is yet another string game. Let me write the name for it. The name is yet another string game. So the question name is this, and what is the contest? Contest is CodeForces round 700. The contest is CF round 700 and it was rated for division 2. Okay, so shall we begin ahead? Okay, let's begin ahead with the problem. Right, what does the problem say? Let's read the problem statement first. So the problem, let me just zoom in a little bit. Okay, I think that it is visible now, right? So it says that Homer has two friends, Alice and Bob, and both of them are fans of strings, right? So in this question, the name also suggests that it will be something related to game strings and games related to that. What you have to do is, in one day, Alice and Bob decide to play a game on a string. So there is a string n s, and Alice and Bob, both of them have decided to play a game on this particular string s. Okay, after that what they will be doing is, the string will be of length n and it will consist of lowercase English alphabets, and both of them will be changing their turns alternatively, and Alice will be taking the move first, right? In one move, a player must choose an index I that has not been chosen yet and change the SI value to the other English lowercase c, such that c is not equal to si, right? So let's suppose that you have this string and you choose some particular character of that particular string which has not been chosen yet, and what you have to do is you have to change that particular character to some character. You can change it to any other lower character such that it should not be the same as the current SI value or the current ith character. Okay, this is what you have to do in this question. Now let's quickly see what has been given in the question further. So when all the indices have been chosen, the game ends. Okay, when will the game end? The game will end when all the indices have been chosen. The goal of Alice is to make the final string lexicographically as small as possible, right? So what does this mean? So this means that you have to make the string in ascending order, right? Something related to ascending order, while the goal of Bob is to make the string as large as possible, right? So both of them are game expert, so they always play games optimally, right? Homer is not a game expert, so he's wondering what will the final string be looking like. So let's say he gives you a string. What is the definition of a lexicographically string? That let's say two strings are A and B, and then what will be the lexicographically relation, or when will you say that lexicographically a string A is lesser than a string B? So in that case, A should not be equal to B, and the first position of A where A and B differ, so A should have a character which is lower than the corresponding character at B. Okay, so now let me quickly see the test cases. So if you will look at the test cases, so these are the test cases that have been given, and for each test case what you have to do is you have to print the final answer for each of the test cases, right? So let's say that first of all you have been given this, right? Let me just copy this. Okay, I've copied it. So let's say that initially you have been given string s is equal to a, right? If you have been given a, then first of all, who is beginning? Alice begins, right? And what will Alice try to do? Alice will simply try to increase, right? Alice will simply try to do what? Alice will try to choose a character such that it is smaller, right? It is smaller because Alice wants to make a lexicographically smaller string. So that means that she'll be choosing characters in such a way that the characters are lower, right? So if you have A, what is the next? What you can choose any character between B to Z. What is the smallest character that Alice should choose? What is the smallest character that Alice should choose? Just quickly tell me in the chat. What is the smallest character that Alice should be choosing? Just quickly tell me about that in the chat. Just quickly tell me about that. Just quickly tell me about that. Only then we can begin ahead. What should we be doing? What should be done, right? Yeah, you should choose B, right? You should be choosing B, right? So Alice takes a chance and she chooses B, right? So she chooses B and S will now be equal to B, right? Let's look at the next case, and now the string A changes to B, right? After that, let's say you have this string B and B. So first of all, Alice will begin, right? Alice begins, and what does Alice do? What will Alice do? Alice has to make this string as low as possible, right? So she will be choosing this character, right? She will be choosing this character. Everyone will try to hit on the starting characters, right? Everyone will try to choose the starting characters first, because that will make the string lexicographically smaller. Let's say if Alice chooses this string, right? If Alice chooses this string and makes it as C, makes it as A, okay, let's say this is the particular character is chosen by Alice and she makes it as A, right? But what if Bob chooses this character and makes this character as Z? Then this will be lexicographically larger, right? Lexicographically larger. So what should one do? Right? So whoever is getting a chance, they will be choosing the characters from the beginning, right? Whoever is getting a chance, they will be choosing characters from the beginning, because their task is to make the string lexicographically. Alice's task is to make the string lexicographically as big as possible, and Bob wants to make the string as high as possible, right? As lexicographically as large as possible, and Alice wants to make it as small as possible. So that is why when Alice chance comes in, so she'll be choosing this character A, and she will be B, and she will be changing it to A, right? After that, since you have chosen this character, so now you move to this character. What will happen to this character? Bob chooses this character, and he will definitely change it to Z, right? After this what will happen? This character will be there, right? This character will be there. Now Alice turns comes in, right? This is Alice, this is Bob. Now Alice turns comes in again. Alice will be doing it what? A, right? After that, Bob's turn comes in for this character, and he will be changing this B to Z, right? So this will be my final string. Let's check for the answer. So AZ, right? This will be the answer. Both are playing optimally. Both of them are trying to make the string Alice is trying to make the string as lexicographically small as possible, and Bob is trying to make the string as lexicographically large as possible, right? Now let's if this test case is also clear to everyone, so let's look at this test case, right? A and Z. So what will happen with this case? Alice begins first, right? So what will Alice do? If Alice should begin with the starting characters, right? Because everyone should begin with the starting characters, because if Alice chooses starting characters and makes them small, so in that case the string will be lexicographically smaller in nature, right? If Alice makes if Bob chooses, so if Bob chooses these initial characters and he makes them big, so the string will be lexicographically larger, right? So in this way both will be playing optimally. So first of all, Alice begins, right? Alice will begin, and Alice will change this A to B, right? After that, what is the next thing? What is the next thing? Now Bob's chance comes in, right? This was Alice. Now Bob's chance comes in, and Bob will change this Z. Bob has to change this Z, right? And Bob has to change this Z, so he will change this Z to Y, because he should have wanted to have Z in here, but since Z is already here, so that is why you will change it to Y, right? And is this much case clear to everyone? Is this much test case clear to everyone? Is this much part clear to everyone? Then only I can consider moving ahead, right? Is this much explanation clear to everybody? Just quickly tell me in the chat. So the new string will look like by. So is this much part clear to everyone? Only then I can consider moving ahead. Is this much part clear to everyone? I'm looking for your comments. Just quickly comment down below if the question is clear and are the test cases clear to everyone. Only then I can consider moving ahead. Shall I? What should I do? Is everything clear with all of you, right? Is everything clear? Just quickly tell me in the chat. Only then we can consider moving ahead, right? Is this much part clear to everyone? Is this much part clear to everyone? Should also be in lexicographical order. Basically, you will be changing these digits, right? So whoever turns is there, so the changes will depend on the strings, right? So after that, both of them are playing optimally. Both of them are playing optimally, and you have to print the final resultant string. So for this string b b b b 4 times b, this will be your final string. Okay. For this az, this will be your final string by. If there was a given, so b will be your final string. If there was only z given, so y will be your final string, right? So this is how you have to do. Is this much part clear? Okay, so just quickly tell me, how should we do this? How should we do this? Can someone in the chat tell me how should we approach this problem further? Can someone in the chat tell me how should we approach this problem further? Just quickly in the chat tell me, what should we do? How should we approach this problem further? How should we be approaching this problem further? Is there any way that we can do this? Notice that it came in CodeForces round 700 division 2 problem A, right? How should we do it? How should we solve this problem further? How should I be doing this? Can someone in the chat tell me how should we be approaching this problem? How can you make the new string? That is the target, right? You have to let me show you the question again. What you have to do is, in output, is you have to print the final string. Okay, and there will be only one possible answer, that is there will be a final string. So you have to just tell me what will the final string look like. Okay, can someone in the chat suggest me, like, what should we do? Can someone in the chat suggest us what should be done? What should be done in this case? What should be done? Just quickly tell me in the chat. What should be done? Can someone in the chat suggest what should be done? Like Riya, and then we have Raghav, and we have Sethi. So anyone can suggest me anything. How should we do this? Also, if you are new and you haven't liked the videos, you can like, okay, sir, for every character and turn, if character is even, then a is less than string, we call c is small, otherwise opposite, right? So first of all, first things first, right? Let's suppose this was your string, right? B, 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 and B, right? If this was your string, right? Okay, what will you do for this case? First of all, you will be marking the indexes 0, 1, 2, and 3, which are the indexes that Alice will be targeting. So Alice will be targeting the indexes that is 0 and 2, right? If you write this way, because Alice will be choosing this index and this index, right? Why? Because Alice will be beginning first, and then after that Bob's chance will come. So Bob will be choosing the Bob will get the chance to choose the odd indexes, right? Bob will get the chance to choose the odd indexes, considering that we are taking a zero based indexing, right? Bob will get a chance to choose the odd indexes, and Alice will get a chance to choose the even indexes, right? After that, what you should do, if this is a, if suppose that this is a, right? If so, first of all, Alice, what will Alice do? If this is b, so Alice will change it to a, right? If this is b, so Alice will simply change it to a, because she wants to decrease, right? She wants to decrease. This will be changed to a by Alice. What will Bob do? If this is b, Bob will simply change it to z, right? If this is b, Alice changes it to a. If this is b, Bob changes it to z, right? After this, let us suppose that the string that was given to us, this is one of the cases, right? This is one of the strings, right? Now let me say that a string that has been given to us is a, z, a, and z, right? Let me quickly mark the indexes 0, 1, 2, and 3, right? What should we do further? The indexes that Alice can change are 0 and 2, and the indexes that Bob can change are 1 and 3. That is the odd indexes, considering a zero based indexing, right? Alice chance comes in. So what will this a change to? What will this a change to? You have to change this a, and the minimum that you can try is a, right? But a is already present here, so that is why what is the character that you should place in place of this a? What is the character that you should be placing in this place of a? What should we do? What is the character that b? Okay, okay, right, perfect, perfect. Perfect. So since a is already present here and you have to choose a character ch such that ch is not equal to current s of I. So that is why what you will do, you will choose, since you cannot choose a because a is already present here, and you have to choose the minimum. Alice will be choosing the minimum, right? So that is why it will become b, right? After this, when Bob comes in, so since he is seeing a z, since he sees a z, so he will change it to y, right? Why? Because z is already present here, and what is the maximum after z that he can allocate for this particular index? So it is y. Again, if you see a, right, so for this case you can see that you will be choosing a b, right? For this z, again you will be choosing a y. Let's say if I had if I had b and y, okay, so what will I do? If this was b and y, then I will first of all mark the index. This will be 0, this will be 1. So this b, what should I change it to? I will be changing it to a. If this was y, then I will be changing it to z, right? So these can be the situations. Now is the question clear to everyone, right? What should I be doing with this, right? What should I do further? How should I approach it further, right? Now let me move to the code part, and there we will try to implement this question. Okay, there we will try to implement and see how we will be doing this question, right? Because there it will be much more intuitive. Okay, so first of all you'll be taking string s as an input, then you take c in s. After that, what you do is you take long n is equal to s dot size. Okay, you take s dot size. After that, you also declare I and index. Let's say you do not declare it, okay, no problem. After this, what will we do next? So we'll be starting a loop from I starts from 0 and I is less than n and I plus plus. After that, if my I mod 2 is equal to 0, if my I is nothing but what, if my I is even, so in that case my s of I will become what? If in that case, what will I check? I will check if my current s of I, this will be chance for what? This will be chance for Alice. So if I will check if my s of I is not equal to a. If it is not equal to character a, so in that case I will make my s of I as a, right? Everyone agrees on this. I will make my s of I as a if the current character is not equal to a. If it is even and it is not equal to a, so in that case I will make it a. If that is not the case, if the current character is a, so then in that case I'll make my s of I as nothing but b, right? Everyone will agree on this, right? This is what Alice will be doing, right? Everyone agrees on this? Just quickly tell me in the chat, everyone agrees on this, right? Everyone agrees on this. After that, what will I do? I will simply check that in the else part, right? So if it is else, so this is Bob's turn, right? This will be Bob's turn. So if this is Bob's turn, so in that case, what will we do? What will do in this case, right? So if I will check if my current s of I, if it is equal to z, right? If the current character, ith character is z, so in that case I cannot make it z, I have to make it y, right? That will be the situation for me. Else, if that is not the case, if the current character is not z, so that is when I will make s of I as z, and this will be when both are playing optimally, right? After that, in the end, I simply need to print my string, right? Everyone agrees on this? Does everyone agree on this? Everyone agrees on this? Everyone is clear with this much part, right? Let me just quickly run on the sample test cases, and then we will see that what we can do. Okay, everyone agrees on this? B, this is B, AZ. Let me see what is the output for my case. It is still running, I don't know why. Let's try and run it through this and see whether or not it works or not. Okay, just let me check. Let me check. I don't know why it is running for so much time. Is there any mistake that I have done here? um let's do one thing. Let me just copy this and paste it here to see if this works or not, okay, and then we can discuss on it further. Okay, so it is clear to Kapoor as well. That's great. Okay, let me submit this problem and see what is the possible outcome of this problem. Okay, it is running and it got a compilation error. Okay, let me check where am I getting a compilation error in this case. So my I is not declared. Okay, let me declare my I in this case. So I'll be declaring int I. Sorry for that. Now I think that it should work. Okay, let me just paste my code again here so that we can see that whether this works or not. Okay, right. So let's see if it works or not. If this doesn't works, then we will check again where we are making mistake. Otherwise, let's see. Okay, so it got accepted, right? So the code got accepted. Everyone can see this, right? The code got accepted. If you haven't liked the video, so you can consider liking the video. If anyone is new to the video, if you have joined the stream just now, so you can consider liking the video. Kapoor, have you liked the video? Okay. Is it clear to everyone? Right, how this code got accepted, right? This code you can see you can see that it got accepted. Let me show you the code for this. Again, some errors, some bugs here and there. Okay, let me show you the code part. Okay, what will I do? What will I do? Right, let's move a bit down. Okay, what will we do? So first of all, you just simply check. Okay, what you do is you take a string as an input, then you have its size. That's great. Okay, so basically what you do is if your if your I is even considering a zero based indexing, that it will be Alice turn, right? And Alice will check if the current SI character is not equal to A, so in that case you will make SI as A, right? And you will, if that is not the case, if SI is equal to A, so if you will make it as B, right? Otherwise what will happen in the else part, you will say that I is odd, so that is why it will be Bob's turn, right? So you will check that if if S of I is equal to Z, so in that case you will make S of I as Y, because if it is already equal to Z, then only option left with you is Y, making it to Y. And else if S of I is equal to if it is not equal to Z, so in that case you will make S of I as Z, because Bob wants to make it lexicographically maximum and Alice wants to make it lexicographically minimum or smaller, right? So is this question clear to everyone? 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 Just quickly tell me in the chat. Just quickly tell me in the chat. I'm waiting for your replies. Is this question clear to everyone? 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 Just quickly tell me in the chat. Clear, sir, +1. That's great. Let's move to the next problem then, okay? Let's move to the next problem now. So you can see that this was much easy, right? You can implement this, you can see and you can just observe it, and you can within 2 to 3 minutes you can solve such questions in contest, right? That is how popular people do it, right? You just need to practice. You just need to know like what actually type of questions are being asked, and you can do this, right? That is what I want to explain. So this much part is done. Now let's move to the next question. Okay, let me write the name for the next question as well. Okay, so the next question is named as substring removal game. Okay, substring removal game. Let me write the name for this. So the question is named as substring removal game. Okay, and where was it asked? Where was it asked? So it was asked in CodeForces educational round 93, rated for div 2. Okay, so it was asked in educational round 93, which was rated for division 2, as you all know, right? Shall we begin ahead with this problem? I think that we should. Okay, perfect. Let's read the problem statement. So Okay, so the problem says that Alice and Bob, again Alice and Bob, right? Alice and Bob are playing a game and they have a binary string S. What does the binary string mean? So the binary string means that the character will either be equal to 0 or it will be equal to 1. Okay, sir, everything this problem is difficult for me, substring removal. Everything this problem, we will check that, no problem, don't worry about that. We'll be going through this problem. Okay, we'll be going through this problem, so don't worry about the difficulty part and all those things. So we'll be covering this problem as well. Okay, Alice and Bob are playing a game and they have a binary string S. Okay, binary string means that the string contains zeros and ones, right? Alice moves first and then Bob and then Alice again and so on, right? So first Alice will be moving, then Bob, then Alice, and then Bob. In this way they will be moving, right? Alternatively. After that, during their move, the player can choose any number not less than 1, any number of consecutive equal characters in the string S and delete them, right? What does that mean? What does that mean, right? Every time, sir, every time this problem is difficult for me, substring removal. No problem, man. We'll be looking into this. Okay, what you can do is, let's suppose that if this is the string, you can choose any number of consecutive equal characters in the string S and delete them. Okay, you can choose, let's say what will happen: 0 1 1 1 1 1 0 0 then 1, right? This is the case. So what you can do is, you can choose this bunch of ones, you can choose all these ones and you can delete them. Okay, you can delete them. So now on the new string will look like 1 0 0 0 and 1, right? After this, what you can do, you can simply choose this much part and you can delete it, right? You can delete it. Now this string will look like what? 1 1. After this, what you can do, you can choose this much part. Again, this is consecutive equal characters and you can delete it as well, right? You can delete it, right? Right, this much part is clear to everyone, right? What now let's see what has been given to the in the question next. It has been given that after the characters are removed, the characters to the left and right become adjacent, right? That is what I was trying to say. That let's suppose that you remove this much these characters, so what will happen? The string will get converted to 1 0 0 0 and 1, right? All the characters in the middle will now not be considered and these characters, this space will get eradicated away and the characters will become adjacent, right? After that, what's the next part? You have been the game end when the string becomes empty, right? So the game will end when the string becomes empty and the score of each player is the number of one characters deleted by them. Okay, so let's quickly write this part. This part is pretty much important now for us. This is the part that we need to focus on for this problem. Okay, let me just quickly see let's quickly see what this problem says now. Right, so it says that game is over when string is empty. Okay, game is over when string gets empty. Okay, string is empty, right? And another thing that has been given is score of each player is the number of ones removed by him. Okay, is the number of ones removed by him. Okay, okay, is this much part clear to everyone? Is this much part clear to everyone? Right, is this much part clear to everyone? By him, her, by the player. Okay, for each player the score will be the number of ones that each player is removing, right? Is this much part clear to everyone? Is this much I can see a lot of new people have joined, so you can consider giving up +1 in the chat and you can like the video if you haven't. Okay, please please tell me quickly that is this much problem, is this much part of the problem clear to everyone? Only then I can consider moving ahead. The game will get over when the string is empty and the score of each player is the number of ones that are removed by him or her. Okay, that are removed by him or her. Okay, okay, it is clear. Okay, perfect. Right, what do you have to do in this problem? What do you have to do in the end? What you have to do is, each player wants to maximize their score, so you have to calculate the resulting score of Alice. Okay, you have to calculate the resulting score of Alice. You have to calculate the resulting score of Alice in this case, right? So let's quickly do that without wasting much time. Let's quickly see that what will be the score for Alice, and both of the players, note that both players will try to maximize their score. Okay, both players will try to maximize their score. So let's quickly see the test case, and let me just copy the answers for these test cases as well. So let's copy it here somewhere. Right, perfect, perfect. Let's begin with this. So what will be given is, first of all, let's say you have been given 0. Okay, let's say you have been given 0, then you have been given 1 1 1 1, and then 0 0 and 1. What will be the total score for Alice? What will be the total score for Alice? Alice begins, right? Alice will start the game. Notice that Alice starts the game. A means what? A comes earlier than B, so that is why Alice always starts the game usually, right? Alice starts the game, right? What will she do? What will she do? She will choose this bunch of ones, right? She chooses this bunch of ones, and she will remove this from the string, right? She will choose this bunch of ones and she removes them, right? So this now becomes 0 0 0 and 1. Now after Alice, Bob chance comes in, right? Bob comes in and he chooses what? He chooses this one, right? He will choose simply this one. And after that, what will the new string look like? So the new string will be 0 0 0. So Alice could only choose these four ones, right? These four ones. Alice could choose only these four ones, right? Alice could choose only these four ones. That is why score of Alice is nothing but 4. Everyone agrees on this. Does everyone agree on this? Is everyone clear with this part? Right, this for this case. Now let me see the next case. So if let's suppose that the string is completely 0, right? If this string is like this, for the second case, let's suppose if this string is 0, so Alice begins, right? And you can see that Alice cannot pick anything, and Alice will simply pick all the zeros and the string will get empty, right? So that is why what will happen with this case? This case, Alice's score will be 0, right? Alice's score will be 0, right? Everyone agrees on this? Will be 0, nothing but 0, right? Everyone agrees on this. Yeah, right, perfect. What is the next case, right? Let me just make some space for us so that we can see the next one. Okay, just give me a second, and let me check what's the next part. Okay, right, let's check for the next case. So if there are all ones, right? If there are all ones, so in this case Alice comes in, Alice chooses all the ones, and let's say this is a string. So 1 2 3 4 5 and 6. So Alice's score will be 6, right? Alice's score for this case will be 6, and now this string will become empty, right? String is empty, s is empty now, right? After that a string will become empty, right? This part is also clear. Now let's see the next test case. So the next test case, let's suppose, is this, right? Let me make some space for us to work on. Let's say if this string is 1 0 1 0 1 0, and let me just see 1 0 1 0 1 0, and again 1 0 and 1. Okay, if this is the string, right, what will be the answer for this case? Just quickly tell me in the chat. What will be the answer for this case? Can someone in the chat quickly tell me what will be the answer for this case? Can someone in the chat quickly tell me? I want to know the answer from all of you, man. Just quickly tell me what will the answer for this case. Can someone in the chat quickly tell me? What will Alice do? Alice comes in, let's say Alice chooses this. Okay, Alice, let's say Alice chooses this case. Okay, Alice can choose this one, right? So Alice's score is now 1. Alice's score is 1. Now let's see what Bob can do. Bob comes in and Bob chooses this one, right? Now after that Alice comes in, Alice chooses this one, so you will add another one to her score, right? After that, what will happen? Bob comes in, Bob chooses this one. After that, similarly, Alice comes in and chooses this one, right? So you will choose this one, so the total score of Alice will be 3, right? And after that, the string will look like this. The string will look like 0 0 0 and 0, and then Bob will come in and choose all them and make it as empty, right? Now the string will become empty, but this total score that Alice can get, the maximum score that Alice can get, is nothing but 3, right? Everyone is clear with this part? I can see some new people have joined, so you can just consider liking the video if you haven't already. Okay, that's great. Let's check for the last case. Let's try and check for the last case what happens with this case. Okay, let's quickly check with this case. If this is let's say this is 0, this is 1 and 1, this is 0, and then there are 4 ones, then 0, then 1, 1 and 1. What will I do in this case? This is the case that is important. I am telling you, this is the case that is the most important and that is the most intuitive. Notice that this was a problem B. How will you do this? How will you do this? Just quickly tell me in the chat. How will you do this? What will be the score for Alice? Let me just tell me Alice's score. What will the score for Alice? What will be the score for Alice? Just quickly tell me in the chat. Just quite quickly tell me. Tell me the score for Alice. I won't be telling you. I can see some new people have joined. So if there's someone new who has joined, so you can consider liking the video if you haven't already. So, okay. Right. What will the score for Alice? Just quickly tell me, man. What will the score for Alice? Alice chooses biggest group of ones. Okay. What does this group of ones means? There is interesting thing that this guy said. He has said. What he has said is group of ones, right? Group of ones. Group of ones. What does that mean? Group of ones. What does that mean? There is one group that is of size 4, right? Then there is another group of size 3, and then there is another group of size 2, right? Let's suppose that okay, let's consider this much part. After that I'll be adding on. Alice chooses biggest group of ones. Okay, Alice chooses biggest group of ones. So the score for Alice will be 4, right? Alice chooses this and Alice's score is 4. So this much part gets eroded away. This much part gets eroded away. After that, what will Bob do? Now Bob comes in. What will Bob choose? Just quickly tell me, man. Just quickly tell me in the chat. What will Bob do? What will Bob be doing now? Quickly tell me in the chat. What will Bob do? What are the bunch of ones, or what will be the bunch of continuous ones or zeros that Bob will be choosing? Just quickly tell me in the chat. Just quickly tell me in the chat. What will be the bunch of zeros and one that Bob will be choosing? Just quickly tell me in the chat. Alice chooses biggest ones. After that, what to do? Bob will choose this ones, right? This set of ones. You agree on this? Bob will chooses these 3 ones, right? So Bob chooses the next pair of ones. Bob chooses the next biggest, right? Everyone is trying to choose the biggest. They are trying to maximize their score. Everyone is trying to maximize, right? Bob and Alice both are trying to maximize their score. They are trying to up it. They are trying to make it maximum as possible. That is why both are not both of them trying to be greedy. Both of them, both Alice and Bob are trying to be greedy, right? Both Alice and Bob are trying to be greedy, right? Everyone will agree on this. Both of them are trying to be greedy, right? So both of them are trying to choose the biggest possible. Since Alice's turn is there, since Bob's turn is there, so what will Bob do? Bob chooses this bunch of 3 ones and he will erase this away. Now what happens? Now you have chosen this bunch of ones by Alice. This bunch of ones is chosen by Alice. This bunch of one is chosen by Bob. This bunch of ones will be chosen by Alice. Does everyone agree on this? Everyone agrees on this. This bunch of ones will now be chosen by Alice, and now you will add 2 to her score, and now her score will become a 6, right? Her score is now 6. Her score now becomes 6. Everyone agrees on this. Now after that, what happens? After that, you have just zeros, and Bob can take them out, so your string become empty, right? S dot empty will be true, right? String becomes empty, right? Can someone in the chat tell me what is the approach? Notice that everyone is trying to be greedy. Everyone is trying to be greedy. Both Alice and Bob are trying to be greedy, right? What should be done? What are they trying to do? Can someone in the chat quickly tell me? What are they trying to do? What is this bunch of ones? Isn't this bunch of ones in a decreasing order, right? You take all the bunch of ones, right? You count all the bunch of ones that are there, all the group of ones, all the bunch of ones that are there, and you sort them in decreasing order, right? Let me just make some space for us. Let's make some space so that we can work upon it. Okay, let me make some space. Right, let's make some space. Okay, what will you do? You are trying to be greedy first of all, right? What does this mean? This simply means that you are trying to be greedy first of all. So both of them are trying to be greedy. You push the size, store the size of all the bunch of ones, right? Store the size of all the ones, all the bunch of ones, or all the bunch of ones, right? All the bunch of ones, right? All these bunch of ones, and sort them in decreasing order, right? Sort them in decreasing order. What does this mean? You are trying to be greedy, right? Sort them in decreasing order. Let's say the size, yes sir, and then alternate add, yes, right. This is what I was trying to say. Let's say the size is 7, let's say then the size is 6, let's say the size is 3, then let's say it's 2, and let's say it's 1. What are the indexes? What are the bunch of ones? Let's say these are the bunches, okay? Let's say these are the bunches that I am trying to make, okay? These are the bunches, right? These are the bunches that I have. What will I do next? What will I do next with them? Right, let me write it for you. This bunch will be chosen by Alice, right? This one will be chosen, this bunch of ones will be chosen by Bob, because both are trying to play in a greedy manner. Notice that both of them are trying to play in a greedy manner. Both of them want to maximize their score. That is greedy and game theory, right? This problem is greedy and game theory, or you can say games, right? Greedy. Just try to be greedy. Now Alice will take this, Bob takes this, Alice will take this. What will be the total score for Alice? So for this case, the total score for Alice will be nothing but 7 plus 3 plus 1, that is 11, right? Is everything clear with this? You first of all store all the bunch of ones, all the consecutive ones, you store all of them, right, in a vector and or a list in Java. You sort them in decreasing order, and then simply you just alternatively, right, for all the or even indexes, right, considering a zero based indexing 0 1 2 3 4, considering a zero based indexing, you add all even indexes, right? All even indexes. Isn't this problem similar to the previous problem that we did, right? Everyone is clear with this? I can see a lot of people are watching, so you can just consider giving a like to the video if you haven't already. Okay, is this part clear to everyone? Is this part clear to everyone? Is this much part clear to everyone? Only then I'll be able to move ahead. Is this much part clear to everyone? Is this much part clear to everyone? Just quickly tell me in the chat. Is this much part clear to everyone? Yes sir. Okay, so now is your fear of this question away, said he. What about others? Just quickly tell me. I can see a lot of people are watching. If you haven't liked the video, so you can consider liking the video. Okay, is this much part clear to everyone with this problem? What was the problem name? The problem name was substring removal game, right? Is this problem clear to everyone? Is this problem clear to everyone? Is this problem clear to everyone? What about Uria and what about others? Is this much part clear to everyone, man? I've tried to explain it a lot. Yes sir, fear goes, being greedy helps. Sometimes you have to use DP as well in problems. Yes sir, crystal clear. Shall we write the code for this, right? I think that we should. Right? Okay, let's do this. Let's write the code for this problem. Also notice one thing, that since you will be sorting, so let's say, since what will happen with this case is, talking about the time complexity, so since we are looking to sort, so it will be something close to n log n, where let's say k log k, okay, let's say k log k, where k is the number bunches of ones that we have, and after that the space complexity will also be equal to order of k, where k is the number of bunch of ones that we have. Okay, now let's quickly deep dive and write the code for this. Okay, right, let me take I, then let me take s is equal to let me take count is equal to 0. Okay, let me take count is equal to 0, then let's take flag is equal to 0 as well. I'll tell you why we are taking these variables. Flag is equal to 0 as well, and let me take string s. Okay, after that what will I do? I will take the string as an input, right? I will take the string as an input. That is the only thing that I need to take. After that I have to also declare a vector long v, let's say. Okay, after that what will I do? So I will start iterating, right? I starts from 0, I is less than s dot size, that is I is less than n, you can say. Then I'll do an I plus plus simply. After that, what will I do? If my current s of I, if it is equal to 0, right, if it is equal to 0, in that case what will I do? In that case I will make my current count as 0, right? I'll make my count as 0. Everyone will agree on this, right? Everyone agrees on this, right? Otherwise if it is 1, then what will I do? If it is 1, then what will I do? If it is 1, if it is 1, then I will take long j. Okay, j will be starting from I here, and what will I do is let's see what I'll do. I will use a while loop, and I will say that while s of j equal 1. So up till the time my s of j is equal to 1, what will I do? I will keep on incrementing my j. I'll do a j plus plus, and I'll do a count plus plus as well. Okay, I'll do a count plus plus as well. Here also I have done a count is equal to 0. Okay, I'll do a count plus plus and j plus plus. So this will give me, this while loop will give me all the bunch of ones. Okay, this while loop will give me all bunch of ones, right? All bunch of ones, right? After that, what will I do? After that, once I have done that, so I'll simply say that v dot push back. I'll simply push back the current count of a bunch of ones that are there, and after that I will simply make my I is equal to j minus 1, because notice that since I have moved this much part, so I do not want to move for this much segment again, right? I do not want to move for this much segment again. So that is why I'll update my I to j minus 1. Why not j? Why not I equal to j? Why j minus 1? Because what I'll be doing is I'll be iterating for this index which is 0, and on that, for that particular index j, I'll be making my count as 0, right? Okay, right? Okay, perfect. After this, what should I do? What's the next thing that I should do, right? If my v dot size, if the elements in the vector, if there is no bunch of ones, right? If there is no bunch of ones, right? If v dot size is 0, then I'll simply see out 0, right? Because there is no because Alice will not be able to take anything, right? Else what will I do? Else I will sort, right? I will sort v dot begin, comma v dot end, comma greater long, and I will do this, right? This will be in decreasing order, right? Decreasing order, right? This is what I'll do. After this, what I'll do? After this, I'll start my iteration. I start from 0. I is less than n. I is less than v dot size. And I plus plus or I plus equal to 2. I'll say I plus equal to 2. Why? I plus equal to 2 because I want to check for all the even indexes, right? I want to count the sum for the even indexes, right? This is what I want to do. Let me see what variable I had taken for the count part. So I think I need to take some variable. Okay, so let's take some variable. Let's say long answer is equal to 0 initially. Okay, after that I'll simply add all these in my answers, right? Answer plus is equal to what? V of I. Simple, that simple. And after that, just simply print the answer, right? Everyone is clear with this? Everyone is clear with this much implementation? Let me just copy the test cases from here so that we can discuss upon them further. Okay, is everyone clear with this part? Everyone is clear with this much part? Okay, let me see if we can get this compiled on this platform or not. There's some issue with it today. Let me try and see again. Some problem with it, so let me try and submit it here directly. Okay, let's try and submit it here directly and see whether or not it works or not. Okay, Control V. Let's try and submit this. If there are any errors, then we will see. Otherwise it will be done. Okay, getting a compilation error. Let me see where I'm getting a compilation error. Okay, some silly mistake again. Let's check for that. let me try and submit it again. I think that it will get accepted, just some errors here and there only. Let's see if this works or not. I think we are getting a compilation error again. Let me see. Okay, just making some. Let me try and submit it again, man. Some compilation errors. Basically, I wasn't able to compile on this. That is why I'm getting compilation errors while submitting. So just wait for a minute. Let's check if it gets accepted or not. Yeah, right. After some compilation errors, finally it gets accepted. You can see that this got accepted, right? You can see that this got accepted, right? This got accepted. Let me show you the code once again. Let me show you the code once again. Some guys were saying that this problem is a bit tough. Do you think that? I don't think now it is tough that much. You'd simply take the string as an input, and you have to, in the vector, you have to store all. I can see a lot of new people have joined. You can please consider giving a +1 in the chat, and you can like the video if you have understood it. If you have understood everything, I'm talking to everyone. If everyone has understood it and they haven't liked the video, so please like the video, and please give a +1 or write clear in the chat, crystal clear, if this session was helpful to all of you. Okay, perfect. So basically, you take a string as an input, then you declare the vector. After that, if your current ith variable ith character is 0, then you make your count as 0. Otherwise, in the else, today's session is very helpful, sir. Fear goes of that string problem, right? Okay, great. So I'll mark my after that with using this, I'll count all the bunch of ones that is there, and since I do not want to make my time complexity to order of n square for this particular roof, so that is why I'll update my I to j-1 because I'll be updating my counter to 0 whenever I encounter this, right? So that is why I'll push back my counter, and simply I'll make my I is equal to j-1 once I'm done with that. So I'll check if my vector dot size is 0. Notice that you cannot apply the sorting function without checking the size. So if the vector size is 0, then I'll simply see out 0, that is 0. Otherwise I'll be covering all the even indexes, that is I plus equal to 2, I starts from 0 and I is less than v dot size, and simply see out answer, right? Everyone is clear with this? Everyone is clear with this part? Okay, perfect. So time complexity, what will be the time complexity? So order of k log k, that is k is the bunch of ones, right? K is the total bunch of ones, or you can say k is equal to nothing but vector dot size, right? P dot size you can say, or list dot size, whatever. And order of ky, because this is nothing but again the bunch of ones, right? Because we are storing them in the vector, right? After this, let's come to the last part of the session today. Okay, so talking about this again, this session that we are doing is mastering CodeForces game theory problems, and we'll be having the session 2 tomorrow, right? That is Sunday, tomorrow 5 p.m. Let's meet 5 p.m. and let's solve 3 questions again. Okay, 3 questions in 1 hour. Also, we have been lately we have been uploading lead code. Today we'll also be uploading the lead code daily challenge for today, so make sure to watch it if you couldn't get the approach. Also, we'll be uploading the CodeForces editorials for round 757. CodeForces round 757 editorials. Apart from this, we'll also be uploading the @coder contest that is currently going on, @coder beginner contest for today. And I'll be bringing this series, that is mastering CodeForces game theory questions. Okay, so that is it from the channel. That is it that I want to say. Also, you can consider to like the video, you can subscribe if you haven't already, you can suggest your friends as well, and if you like the content that I am sharing with you, the classes, So Piyush Patel, what will be the rating of CF game theory problems? I have the session 2 that we'll be having. I have shared the problem links. Okay, we'll meet tomorrow. Yeah, sure. So if you haven't, you can share the videos with your friends. So you can consider to like, you can subscribe, and you can share it with your friends on WhatsApp or any other group. Okay. So Vanchika Kapoor also understood it. So that is great. You should be a little bit regular because you are a regular student. Okay, so that's it. Basically mastering game theory code forces questions. So we'll be discussing the next questions tomorrow, and that is it from my side. I think that there are a lot of videos that will be coming today as well, so you can consider subscribing the channel if you haven't already. Also, if you are watching the recorded series, then you can also like the video. That's it from my side. Let's meet tomorrow 5 p.m. Okay, bye, take care.